Alright, here's the demonstration video for the microwave monkey bread. Monkey bread is like a cinnamon roll kind of pull apart bread, where it's not so much as a roll, but you just have little individual pieces that you pull apart. Usually it's made in an oven, which is pretty good, but it takes a significant amount of time, and you have to kind of prepare the dough in a little different way, and it takes a little bit more time also. Whereas when you do it in the microwave, it's very quick, and as long as it's something you eat right away, it's not the best reheated, whereas the one that you make in the oven is a little bit better. You can reheat it a little bit better. Microwave one, you kind of got to eat right away, but I'm sure that it won't be a problem. Usually goes pretty fast. Okay, so you need to have a round glass baking dish. So this is going to be similar to the one we made the apple crisp in, only a little bit more shallow. And you're building a ring shape to cook this in, okay? So you're going to take this other glass dish. Glass is the best material to use in the microwave because the microwaves pass right through it, just like a window where the sun passes right through, the rays of sun pass right through the window. Same thing happens in the microwave. So the microwaves don't affect the glass, they only affect the food. And this way, because we learned that microwaves only go in so deep, we need to create two pathways essentially for the microwaves to cook this dough. So it's gonna go in through the middle and come in from the outside and cook the whole thing really evenly. So you're building this ring shape by putting the glass dish right in the center, and you're gonna put your dough and sauce around that. Okay, so you have that. The first thing you need to do is make the sauce. The sauce is brown sugar. We know we need to pack brown sugar. So use some of you are, I don't really know what some of you are doing when you do this, kind of funny to watch, but this is the easiest way to do it. Just kind of use the side of the container and push hard, and then level out with your hand, and usually that's pretty level when you do it that way. Wow, there you go, sandcastle. Okay. Use the side, squish it down really good. Okay, and then you need some butter. Then you need some vanilla. And then you need some cinnamon. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Please don't do tablespoons here. That'd be a little bit overwhelming. And lastly, you need a little bit of water just to help things cook it evenly. And in this case, 2 tablespoons of water. You don't need to stir this. You're just gonna stick this in the microwave for a minute. And then you're gonna do something called testing for grittiness to make sure that the sugar's dissolved and it's getting smooth. So I'll show you how that works in a second. I have to run next door, stick this in the microwave. I'm not going to pause the video because then it takes forever to reload. So just fast forward a little bit until you get to me coming back. the sauce in the microwave for a minute, then you stir it up. If the butter isn't quite melted yet, you can do 30-second intervals until it gets to the point where you can kind of stir and mush it up here, get all the butter chunks melted. And then you want to test for grittiness, which just basically means putting a little bit of this mixture on your finger, rubbing it together and making sure you don't feel a lot of granules of sugar. Okay, you'll feel some, but it shouldn't be the majority, okay? Once it gets to that point, you're done stirring, and you can kind of let this hang out until you're ready with your dough. As far as the dough, I swear, oh yeah, I did bring it. Here it is. Okay, so you're gonna use these refrigerated biscuits. You need to peel the paper back, and then sometimes they pop open, but usually you have to sort of give them a little tap on the seam where it says press spoon at seam. I just kind of go like that on the edge of the table and it pops open. Inside here you have 10 biscuits. You're gonna cut them in half. So you have 20 pieces in your monkey bread. And these pieces will double, triple in size. Okay, so they do rise up as they cook. And when I say cut them in half, I mean that. Okay, I don't want you to tear these. When you make dough, if you pull the dough and rip it, it creates a rough edge on the dough, and then it just kind of ruins the quality. So you do want to cut these and cut them fairly even, but don't overthink it. Some of you are using the wrong side of the cutting board, I noticed. You need to make sure you're using the rigid side of the cutting board and not the smooth side, or you're gonna have trouble cutting things. The rigid side provides a little bit of abrasiveness on your knife so that things cut better. Okay, so as you're cutting these, you then want to take them, roll them up gently. They're not Play-Doh, don't play with them. Squish them around, okay, because you're gonna ruin the elasticity of the dough. You just roll them real quick into these little balls, whoops, and they go right around around the ring that you created, okay? And you want to kind of spread them out, but don't overthink where they're going. They're going to kind of do their thing as they cook anyway, okay? But remember, keeping this ring shape, so you don't take that clear bowl out of the center. You leave that there to help things cook more evenly in the microwave. So if you know what a bundt pan is, in the oven, it's kind of like that big pan. It has the hole down the center. Same kind of idea. Things cook more evenly because the heat can enter through the middle and the outside. In this case, the heat's not entering. The microwaves are entering, creating the friction in the molecules of the food, but it does it more evenly like this. All right, so then take your sauce, give it another quick stir, and you just drizzle this all the way around. Oh yeah. Okay. Try to cover them all. That way they'll cook better. So once you get down to the end, if it seems like some of them need a little motivation, get some sauce on there. Okay, that's good. Plate on top, upside down. And this goes in for about 4 minutes on 60% power. Some of you are struggling with the power changing of the microwave the last time. You have to enter the cooking time before you can change the power level. So you hit cook time, plug in 4 minutes, then hit power level, then hit 6. Okay? I'll be back. We'll show you how to flip this over. 4 minutes, 60% power. Definitely use some hot pads to take that out. Okay, and these dishes have kind of like handles, so that's the best place to try to grab it so you can stabilize the plate and the container, or the pan. Okay, so you're going to invert this or flip it over and then let it stand. And you want to do this with a towel in case any of the sauce kind of oozes out. Okay, so you cover the whole thing with a towel. You find the handles of the pan, the glass dish, and I kind of like to do it this way. So my thumb is on the handle, the rest of my hand is kind of supporting the plate, and then you just do it quickly. You don't overthink it, you don't go slow, you just want to be like 1, 2, 3, flip. Okay? If you do it right, you won't have a big mess, but in case you have a big mess, this towel will help contain that. Okay? And then you kind of let it stand there for another 2 minutes. I'm gonna pull the glass dish off just to kind of show you after all of the monkey breads have kind of fallen off. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Try the sauce since I can't eat it. Oh, okay. I think you're gonna like it. You can just leave that little dish there in the center. And then what I'll do is have a little container of icing. Glaze, I guess, is more of a better way to say it. And we'll just drizzle some of that on there. It's already pretty sweet, so you don't need to put too much. And then you just go for it. Grab a fork. Of course, after the standing time. Get all that good stuff on there. Oh man, I want to eat that, but I'm not gonna. I'll just serve it to the children to make them happy. All right, good luck with your monkey bread, guys. Don't forget to change the power.